So I spent nearly 3 years working on my first drop, and I just wanted to come on here and explain myself a little bit. And hopefully this video serves you well, whether you're starting a clothing brand yourself, already have a brand, or maybe you just have a business that deals with providing a product or service. But I'm gonna try out this format where I just play some. Well, obviously, the reason I'm playing Pac-Man is because it's relevant to like the T-shirt I'm releasing this week. I'm doing a Pac-Man graphic tee, but I want to try out this thing where I just post some gameplay of me playing some old PS2 games or maybe even some new games. I don't know, and just commentate over it. There's gonna be some videos where I'm on my computer and stuff too, but I want to try this out, see how it goes. Let me know what you guys think. So a little bit about myself. I've actually been wanting to start this brand for a really long time. I've had the brand name since like 2017, I believe. 2000, no, I think like 2018. I made the brand name Tori Alizé, and I mean that's not the brand name I'm going with now. It's Rerock Basics, but yeah, I've had this whole clothing brand thought out for so long now, and the reason I didn't start was because I was doing music at the time. I was making a lot of beats. I was working with rappers and R&B artists and networking a lot within the music space. And so yeah, at that time my focus was mainly just on music, making beats, and I was even recording a little bit of music back then, and that was really my focus for the most part. I wasn't even thinking about designing or anything like that. I just knew I wanted to start a brand, but knew nothing about starting a brand. So, um, yeah, fast forward a little bit. Um, I'm still making music, but I'm at a point where I'm deciding if I want to move with my girlfriend to where she's going to school. She was going to UC Berkeley, and I just wanted to change. I was in Bakersfield at the time, and I grew up in Bakersfield. I was really tired of it. So, yeah, I decided to make the move, and we went to the Bay Area. We were living around Berkeley, and I got a job at Amazon. And, you know, Amazon had its pros and cons, but, you know, I'll go over mostly the pros today because I'm not gonna lie. Without Amazon, I don't know how I would have got into graphic design. I don't know how I would have started my clothing brand. I don't know where I would be right now. I don't even know if I'd be making this video right now. But like, none of that might make sense. Like, I'm not saying that because Amazon like paid me good or like was a good job. It's actually like a shitty ass business model what Amazon has going on. Like, Amazon is actually like they're pretty unethical. Their practices are really unethical. They don't care about their employees. So in no way, shape, or form am I trying to say Amazon is a great job. But let me explain. So Amazon was a really demanding job, especially like I was working in the city in San Francisco, so the routes were pretty hectic. There's a lot of packages. There's a lot of stops. Like it's just hectic. You have like 300 packages a day, like 120 stops. It's it's crazy out there, and these packages are huge. Like, you know, it's San Francisco. These people are ordering some crazy stuff. So, um, yeah, Amazon keeps track of all kinds of stuff, like how fast you drive, how much you brake, how fast you deliver, how slow you deliver. Like I don't know if any of you guys have worked at Amazon, but they keep track of like crazy statistics, you know what I mean? And um yeah, the job was just is a pretty boring job. You're by yourself 95% of the shift. But that's another thing. There's only so much music you could listen to. You know what I mean? Like it got to a point where you really have to start getting into podcasts because if you're delivering packages 10 hours a day, 5, 6 days a week, trust me, you're gonna start listening to podcasts. Music is not gonna be listenable after like 2 weeks of working at Amazon. So at the time I really got into No Jumper podcast and I was just watching a lot of No Jumper and I remember they started bringing on this designer. His name is Blasey, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know who Blasey is. He's a real poppin' ass designer. He's from LA. Uh, but yeah, he was on the No Jumper show, and uh, yeah, I just remember being really interested in like what he had to offer. Like everyone has their own thing to offer, you know what I mean? Especially like No Jumper, for the most part, it's like they're a SoundCloud rapper. That's like what they have to offer. But this dude Blasey was a designer, a graphic designer, and yeah, he worked for like Runts. He worked for like Chinatown Market. He made flyers and graphics for like Thousand Man Funny and shit. Like I'm telling you, he was just like everything he was talking about just seemed really interesting to me. And I've always been into that stuff and creating a brand and everything, but I just never really heard firsthand from someone who's actually done all that. You know what I mean? So I was really intrigued from the moment I was listening to all of this, everything he had to say about design. So immediately, like, I made it my goal. Like, I'm gonna start getting into graphic design, and I ended up getting a Adobe subscription, and yeah, I had this like Asus laptop at the time, and it was cool and all, but all the tutorials I was watching on Photoshop were all made on MacBook. Like everybody was using Mac, it seemed like. So it was kind of discouraging. And I know like it's not rocket science. Obviously, these like shortcut keys are literally like the same exact thing, just one button is different. So it was just another one of those things that I found a way to make an excuse. And there's just always those things that I just found a reason to make an excuse. And so I just held off the whole graphic design thing. I wasn't really designing as much as I wanted to. But back to the point of Amazon's, toxic work environment logistics, they kept track of how often you return packages to the warehouse. So let's say you have a route with 300 packages, but three of those packages aren't deliverable because you didn't have access to the building. Well, believe it or not, Amazon's actually gonna get pissed off, and like they're not gonna. You're gonna start losing hours if you're returning too many packages because they look at it. They don't look at it as you just like doing the right thing and not delivering something that you can't deliver. They look at it as you're being lazy and you're trying to get out of delivering. So they literally like. There's been times where the supervisor was like, "Hey, we're giving away like Visa prepaid gift cards for drivers who have zero returns this week." Like I'm telling you, it was getting absurd how much they were pressuring us to not return packages. But that's really difficult when realistically there's a lot of packages to return. So long story short, I'm gonna keep it real. I started, taking a few packages home. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure some of you guys have got into it as well, delivering. But yeah, so I started taking some packages home, and for the most part, it's always like vitamins and stuff. And let me clarify though, I'm not just like marking these packages as delivered and taking them. No, like I'm marking them as no access. I can't deliver them, and then instead of getting to the warehouse and handing them over so that they could write it down that I had a return, I would just not return the packages and I would take it home. You know what I mean? So I would save my score so it doesn't look like I'm returning hella packages, but the customer is getting their package replaced and Amazon's essentially taking that loss. You know what I mean? So let me just clarify that first before people come in the comments talking crazy like I'm some thief or scammer. Like, no, no, no. It might not be the most ethical thing, but I'm here to admit my wrongdoing, and it played a big role in me becoming who I am. So I kind of have to be honest and upfront about that. You know what I mean? But anyway, so uh one day I opened up a package at home that I had brought home from Amazon, and it was literally a fucking MacBook. A MacBook. It was the M1, the MacBook Air. It wasn't a Pro or nothing, but still, it was a MacBook. Like literally all my dreams came true at that moment. Like I had been wanting a MacBook so bad to get into graphic design, and I had been making so many excuses to not learn graphic design. But at this moment, when this MacBook is in my hands, my whole life changed. Like, it was like, okay, God really wants me to learn this graphic design shit, because what the fuck, like, this was literally my last excuse. Like, if I don't learn graphic design now that I have a MacBook, like what more do I need? You know what I mean? I didn't even technically need this MacBook. I could have learned on Windows. I was just being picky. But anyway, so yeah, I have this MacBook and I'm learning graphic design. I'm practicing every single day, every week. I'm just practicing. I'm copying stuff and trying to get better. And yeah, I'm doing that for a while, but after a while I ended up quitting Amazon and I started doing DoorDash, and that kind of changed a lot because DoorDash, I was actually working a lot more for like not even that much more money, probably the same money, but I was working way more. Like, I thought I was making way more, but I wasn't making way more. I was making the same amount, but working way more hours, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm doing DoorDash and I'm just practicing graphic design after my DoorDash shifts, and basically that's just not enough. Like, I really was hoping that that DoorDash money would go to my brand, but still, like, a year and a half, 2 years after that, still just never found the, the priority in starting that brand, like investing into my first drop. And keep in mind, on another note, like, my credit is real bad. My credit is fucked because when I came out to the Bay originally, I like exhausted all my credit cards and didn't pay for shit. Like, I don't know why I did that. Obviously it was a risk coming out here, but yeah, that's definitely a big do not do. So anyone listening who has decent credit or has no credit right now, do not fuck that up. Even if you have no credit right now, nothing at all, that's amazing. You're on a fresh, clean slate. Like, just do not ever mess it up. Do not be me. You know what I mean? I could have been using credit to my advantage to start my business, but of course, you know, that's something that I have to deal with. So yeah, that's one piece of advice I have for people. Like, I wouldn't have had to waited. I wouldn't have had to wait this long to, invest in my first drop if it wasn't for me having bad credit. So definitely work on your guys' credit. Get that straight so that you don't have to invest out of pocket like me and save up, because the economy is horrible. You guys know how hard it is to save up. Trying to save up for your first drop is stupid hard. So, um, yeah, so doing the whole DoorDash stuff, it just never really worked out for my brand. I never really had time to prioritize working on my brand. So, yeah, fast forward a little bit more time. This is like July of last year. Me, my brother, and my girlfriend, we got an apartment here in Oakland, and it just seemed like a good idea at the time. There was all kinds of rent specials because of how bad Oakland has been doing, and we should have just took that as a sign. But no, I'm playing. Oakland has been cool, but it just comes with its challenges. Like, for example, when I moved out here to Oakland, I got like this beater Honda for like $2,000, no, like $3,000, and I invested in a new MacBook because that MacBook Air was cool and all. It was doing the job for sure. That MacBook Air was able to handle everything graphic wise, but 3D wise, that's where we had a problem. So I really wanted to start getting into more lanes as a designer and not having any restrictions. So definitely, once I moved out here to Oakland, oh, and I forgot to mention, I quit like DoorDash full time and I got an actual job. That was an amazing decision because I got a pretty good job working at the elementary schools, and they pay me pretty well working with the kids. So I've just been doing that and a little bit of DoorDash outside of that. Well, actually, now that I'm starting like YouTube and my clothing brand, I'm actually like done with DoorDash. completely. So it's a big risk. Like, I'm not making as much money right now since I quit DoorDash, but I'm just hoping this pays off. You know what I mean? This whole Rerock Basics stuff and YouTube. So, definitely hoping for that. Uh, but yeah, so I came to Oakland and I got a better job. Um, but then after a few months of working, I saved up a few $1,000s, and by this point, this is like a few months ago. I'm talking, and my beater Honda was really starting to give out. It was really unsafe to drive, so I had to make a decision. Like, I saved up a few $1,000s from working at this new job. Do I want to get a new car, or do I want to invest this money into my first drop? Like, it was a big decision. Like, my safety, like a car that's not gonna turn off on me on the freeway every day, or my first drop. Um, it seemed like an easy decision at the time. I'm like, obviously a car, because how am I gonna ship packages and stuff? Even if I had a brand, like, I need a car. But I got this like Acura TL. It was a really clean Acura. Like, I'm a big fan of Acura, and not even a month later, I couldn't even make my first payment. This car was stolen. So that's what I mean. Oakland comes with it comes with its hardships. I wasn't expecting that. There was definitely better precaution I could have took, but yeah, my car got stolen, and that really sucked because it was like a slap in the face. Like, I could have put that money into my clothing brand. I dropped like 2,500 on the down payment for my car. Like, I just felt stupid. Like, I knew I should have invested into the clothing brand. I knew I should have put that into my first drop. Like, I knew I should have done that. Why did I get a car and bring it to Oakland? That was my problem. And it was I was down for a few days, and they ended up finding the car. It was totaled, and luckily my insurance cashed me out. They gave me like my whole down payment back. They gave me 2,500. Um and so I was at another decision. I had another decision to make. Like, okay, I have my down payment back. I basically went back in time. I have this money again. Do I want to get a car, or do I want to start Rerock Basics? And obviously at that point, it just seemed like everything was pointing towards the brand. Like, it just made sense. So yeah, I have no car at the moment. I'm taking Ubers and stuff, taking the bus, but that's okay because I put that money straight into Rerock Basics, and I started production on the Pac-Man t-shirts. So those that I got them back, I have the t-shirts sitting right next to me. I made 50 Pac-Man shirts. You can go check them out on my Instagram, Rerock Basics, or the website rerockbasics.com. Go check those out. It's basically just a reference to Pac-Man World 2. So anyone who's a fan of that, you know, check them out for sure. So yeah, it was a big decision I had to make between getting the car again and getting the shirts. But with how bad Oakland is, it was, I don't care. I'll take the bus or the lift for a few months, and I'd rather just start my brand. So that's basically, you know, why it took 3 years almost to start this brand. Really, technically more, like probably 5 years, but it wasn't I didn't purposely take this long. I just wanted to come explain myself. And yeah, basically, with all that being said, I really appreciate it for everyone who listened to this and made it to the end. uh I really want to start doing this more often, recording videos like this. Let me know what you guys think about the whole gameplay commentary thing, because I'm definitely gonna make more videos where, like, I'm on my computer showing you guys stuff, or maybe even some vlogs, like behind the scenes stuff. uh yeah, but just let me know what you guys think about this video. I'd really appreciate the feedback. And if you guys want any advice or you guys want any brand help or designs, hit me up on the Rerock Basics Instagram at Rerock Basics. I'll put all the social medias in the description. But yeah, also if you guys are interested in that Pac-Man graphic tee coming out this Friday, definitely go on the website. That'll be in the description as well. Sign up for the SMS list so you get 10% off and you get notified the day of with a early access link. Cause like I said, I only made 50 of these Pac-Man shirts, so I'm hoping they sell out like really quick. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they're gonna sell out extremely quick. It's only 50 shirts. So if you guys are interested, definitely go sign up for that SMS list. Check out my Instagram. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. This is gonna be a more recurring thing. Hopefully like every week I can upload a video. So like, subscribe, ask me any questions in the comments that you guys might have. Anything. Ask me anything. I don't mind. Um yeah, I appreciate it. See you guys in the next one.